Well, that is one that a quick YouTube search will prove that everyone follows.
Well, after that, they followed it up with a little how to properly videotape so you don't, put
How to
crap.
discreetly videotape?
No.
How to break the rules and not get caught?
No, I don't. I think it was more like so that everybody on YouTube can enjoy it properly and not like kind of under your shoulder. Like so, landscape. I wasn't listening.
Do landscape. Don't videotape. It's against the rules. But if you are going to film it, make sure you shoot in landscape. Get a good framing.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of space over the head, and frame it up
Everything,
nicely.
I believe.
Don't shoot the back of the head of the person that's sitting right in front of you.
Yeah. Kind of maybe bring a tripod. I don't know. I saw
Bring a
one.
tripod. Yeah, I saw people with tripods
that would
right
be,
there.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
I don't remember the other ones. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right.
Okay. So after all that, what is your favorite rule and/or regulation to break, past, present, or future, or that you've ever broken, or that you will never break again?
That's a lot of questions.
You can pick one. I said or.
So, I am not a big fan of arbitrary rules, and my definition of arbitrary rules is probably broader than it should be. I consider a lot of things stupid that we all sign up for. Like, why do we have men's and women's bathrooms? Shouldn't we all just share one bathroom? Things like that. Like, where do we develop these rules and conventions that have absolutely no founding on anything? But I've done a lot of things that other people consider breaking the rules. I often do it sort of without thinking, like, oh yeah, of course you can, I got arrested very briefly once for reading on the roof of a bank at midnight. And I climbed up onto the roof of a bank simply because I saw that it was like, wow, there's good street lighting right there. I could just lean up on the wall, up on the top of the roof of the bank and read up there. That'd be great. And then, I got up there and I was reading, and all of a sudden the floodlights came on from adjacent buildings, and I was surrounded by cops. Because obviously people had reported that someone was breaking into the bank. I went for a run in Griffith Park, which is in Los Angeles, and I found myself climbing over a very, very tall chain link fence that also had razor wire at the top, and I was like, why is this fence in the middle of this beautiful park? And here I was on this nice little coyote trail, running and feeling good, and then I come across this fence, and I'm like, F you, fence, I'm gonna keep going. So I climbed the fence, and I came down, and I kept running, and I found that I was actually in the LA Zoo, which I didn't realize. And in the part where like the animals are just walking, like I was in animal enclosures at the LA Zoo, and didn't know it. So luckily it wasn't like, there were pigs. I was in with some sort of like wild pigs, which is fine. I was eventually asked to leave. So that sort of stuff happens, and I like to convey this sentiment a little bit to my children, and so sometimes, like, I've been making this, we go to the museum a lot, me and the kids, and when we go to the museum, they have so many rules that it's like, it's designed to make children feel bad and uncomfortable. Like, that's what a museum is trying to convey to children, like, don't touch that, don't get near that, don't sit. So there's like a concrete wall that's maybe 2 feet tall and 18 inches wide, that's just running along right next to the grass outside. And my daughter goes and sits on it, and the security guy comes up and is like, excuse me, you have to get off that. Why? Why does she have to get off that? I put my kid on my shoulders, on the lawn, at the museum at LACMA. And another security guard came up and said, sir, you have to take your child off your shoulders. I said, why? It's a liability, you can't have kids on your shoulders. So that really made me, those kind of things make me mad, and I convey this to the kids, like, these are stupid rules. There are rules that make sense, like you shouldn't shoot someone with a gun that has live ammunition in it. That's a rule that makes sense, and we should follow that. But if, these stupid museum rules, like, you know what, don't worry about it. If someone tells you not to do that, whatever. Just do it again when they're not looking. And yesterday we were having breakfast and my son climbed on the table, and at home we have a rule, and the rule is you don't climb on the fucking table. while people are eating. And he said, why not? And I said, because your feet are, your dirty feet walking around. We're eating food. We don't want the dirt from your feet on the table in our food. That's unhealthy, it's gross. And he said, okay.
He took his shoes off.
And he went like this. And he picked up his feet. And he's like, so how about this? And I was like, no, we don't know. And he said, why not? And I said, just because it's a rule that we have in the house. And he said, well, it's a stupid rule and I'm not going to follow it. So, anyway, it's a tough thing to work with, that attitude, I find it. I really don't like it. I wish that he would just follow my rules, whether they're arbitrary or not, and not ask questions. But I've done some things that were, illegal or whatever.
According to the law.
Yeah, according to the law. But in the end, I felt like it was a cool enough project, or it was something that I was proud enough of that I was going to do it anyway. But I don't recommend that you break the law. Don't do it.
Anymore.
Not much more, unless it's a stupid law. It's funny that you bring this up because this past fall, I shot a little teaser for a prospective pilot TV show that is about breaking the law. And the idea is just to go around, there's all these arcane, really, truly stupid laws on the books that nobody's ever bothered to take off the books because it's too much of a pain in the butt to change the law. So, like in Massachusetts, men are not allowed to have hair that's more than shoulder length, things like that. That's on the books somewhere, So my idea was, well, I could just go around and break all of these laws and film it and do it kind of flagrantly, like in front of a police officer.
Did you grow your hair out or did you have a wig?
That would be a wig situation because it takes too much work to grow your hair out.
Extensions?
Anyway, you've touched on a nerve for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
What? 5? 5 minutes. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Did you guys? I'm going to take a brief aside here and show off Rich and Rob's shirt. And I understand that if you have you guys all heard the story?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a very emotional hot point for everybody who works at Creation, I think, who was there at the time, for all of the cast who were with Rob at that point. It was like this really amazing moment for us to all come together. We were so scared, and he was in really, really bad shape. And anyway, and Creation was amazing. There were several volunteers that spent the night in the hospital with him. Yeah, I've teared up many times in the ensuing, it's been almost 2 years now, right? 3. Clearly I have it mapped out in my mental calendar. Yeah, anyway, so if you get one of these shirts and support that campaign in the next 12 or 13 hours or something like that, then you're gonna be in a drawing to be in a picture with me and Jared and Jensen. So, it's almost like if you do that good thing, then you'll get punished, potentially, by having crushed by me and Jared and Jensen. Sometimes we get rowdy in those photos, and somebody will say something like, "Give me the tightest hug possible," and I'm always like, "Oh, you don't want that," because Jared will just be like. Every once in a while, you hear just that quiet little crack of a rib. Someone go as their lung gets punctured. But yes, anyway, Creation Stand's website, you can get these. And Creation has just been really awesome with this and supporting the charities that the SDR family cares about the most. So if you're gonna get any supernatural swag, get it there instead of, Hot Topic or something, because it's also going to support a good cause. And we like that. It's good. All right, hi.
Hi. My
dragon and I were wondering if you could be any mythical creature, what would you be?
Any, her dragon, which she's holding up right there, and her would like to know if I could be any mythical creature, what would it be? But I thought you said miserable creature, which threw me for a second, and then I figured it out. Wait, what'd you say?
I said you would be Mark Shepard.
Is that if you could be any miserable creature, what would you be? Unicorn, obviously. It's kind of too easy, that question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, if you could be any version of Castiel,
That's right. Well, they really don't like Billy Moran. Sounds like you've been getting booed a lot this weekend. Yeah. Wow, tough crowd. Sorry, guys. All right. How's it going? How is backstage? How is the green room?
Awesome.
Good.
Keeping it. It's good.
What were you guys doing?
What were we doing? There's a lot of wrestling.
Wrestling.
No.
What have you been doing? Why are you so sweaty? I don't know. I got hot. I think I must have gotten nervous at some point. Oh, I know what it was. This child asked me to go to her prom with her, and then the crowd started booing at me because I wasn't immediately agreeing to go. She lives in Miami. It's in May. I'm going to be out of the country. Like, I have a lot of reasons why this is not convenient for me. And these guys are like, you should go to the prom.
I feel like Jacksonville is where all the boo-happy Floridians live. You know what I mean? Like,
Boo happy crowd.
I feel like if they had rotten tomatoes, they'd be throwing them, you know.
way to bring that up.
Can we put a pin in this? Can we see how things are going? Would you be okay with maybe finding a backup just in case?
I've never done a proposal.
Because I am going to be in Europe at the time, which makes it very hard for me.
Why don't you just bring her to Europe with you? I think
Do you want to come up
probably.
here? We could do like a prom honeymoon instead of the prom itself or something. Yeah, it's a good crowd. I like that. They're kind of like
They're with you and against you.
they're with you and against you at the same
They
time.
love you and hate you.
They were like, oh, yeah, it's good.
I think, Misha, I love the audience participation, and I like it when we have celebrities in the house. I think it's fun. I think it's only fair. I'm going to call them out. We got to give a big hello to everybody. Jim Beaver's in the house with us. He just told me, come hug him into the panel. You know, like,
Jim, stand up.
stand up, Jimmy. You're really right.
Turn around so they can see it.
Nice try, Jim. Hey, Jim, next time, pony up for a better seat. You know what I mean? You're in the show. Don't you know a guy?
Johnny Scott. Smells like an angel.
Okay, that's good. Listen, hypothetically, if the next question's a hypothetical,
Okay, if you could ask any question, what would it be?
yeah.
what incarnation of Castiel would you be if you had to be any incarnation for a week? What would you do?
I would be incarnated as you as Cass.
I don't know if
That has
that's,
made my life. Thank you.
I don't know if that's an odd answer or just a lame.
She's like, oh, that was lame. I waited in line for that.
Anybody have a question?
One last question over here.
Not a hypothetical question. Not a hypothetical. What, you got one?
On Cooking Fast and Fresh with Wes,
Yes.
if you could have one or like a couple other people from the show on the show with you and Wes,
That's hypothetical.
what would you do?
Hypothetical.
I would like all of Rich and Rob's children to be in Cooking Fast and Fresh with Wes.
Be awesome.
We recently recorded a serial podcast. I don't know if you guys. This is really funny. So we recorded a serial podcast, which I thought was a very clever play on words. You know, cereal spelled with a C, right? And so it was just us having breakfast in the morning, starting with me waking Mason up or whatever, and going through breakfast. And it starts as mornings too. It started kind of like sweet and like, oh, I came across this sort of like a sensitive, attentive dad. And by the end, it's like, just stop it, get your foot off your sister. You know, that was the arc of the podcast, right? But I as we were recording it, I was like, oh, I should take a couple of pictures because I'll need a still to go with this for when we put it up on YouTube. And then I was editing it, and I was like, oh right, I got some pictures, don't I? And I looked at the pictures that I had, and I had no recollection of this at all, but I did like 3 photos. I had 3 photos. And it was just an action sequence of West standing up, getting up, onto a chair, foot in his sister's cereal bowl, like, foot in the cereal, and I had no recollection of that at all. Like that was so, I was just like, that's breakfast, whatever. Didn't faze me at all, and I saw the pictures and I was like, oh my God, that happened, and I literally was taking the pictures and still didn't notice, because it was so mundane. Like, that's just how it goes.
Wow.
Any given Sunday.
At Rich's house, he would have been making him do 50 push-ups.
You were a little bit like you have things under control in your home, don't you?
No, my house is like Phil Spector's wall of sound. It's like it's just nothing but noise and chaos.
Okay,
Are you kidding? I have 3 children.
All right.
It's mayhem in my home.
But you do have to crack the whip.
I cracked the whip to no avail. I try.
It's fun to
I put on a good show. I keep you in line. It works with say you.
That's true.
It's
You don't make them put on dresses.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then he had me dressed as Khaleesi last night.
It's absolute madness.
The karaoke theme was Game of Tones.
Okay.
So Matt was hot as Jon Snow. So smart.
Smart.
He was looking dapper as King Joffrey.
Yep.
And I was Khaleesi.
Obviously. Pretty obvious on the nose casting in there, I would say.
I know.
It's spot on.
I get guilty as charged. I went with the obvious.
Yeah.
For obviously the mother of dragons.
Yes, in a wedding dress.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
I did?
There's
Okay,
only
good.
one more. We're going to do the last question right
Okay,
here.
last question.
Bye, Misha. Love you.
Hi, I love you too. That's against the rules. Get out. How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
My name is Kat,
Hi,
and
Kat.
I just wanted to say that my friends Daryl and Lorna really like your work along with myself, and I wanted to know because there was an airplane story that Jerry.
Thank you. Somebody asking a legitimate question. Thank you.
I wanted to know your take on the story.
My take on the story?
Yeah, like
You gotta
What story she's talking about?
The turbulent Australia plane story.
We told it again today.
In which a wall of urine 5 feet high was crashing down on you as the plane hits a bump.
This is a story, this is another one. This is like the photo of West's foot in the cereal that I only remember because I've heard you tell it so many times. So it's like I'm looking at that story through the distorted lens of your twisted mind.
Well, it's traumatic.
I'm looking at it through Rob's mind because I slept through the whole thing.
Yeah, he wasn't even there. He was unconscious.
All I know is that you filled a toilet bowl of your own urine.
Yeah.
Most
And
urine
before
you
you
ever...
could flush, it dropped, urine came up, plane went forward, urine went on you.
What I love about that is it sounds like the kind of thing that could only happen if the pilot was trying to slosh urine on you. Like, all right guys, watch this. He just went in, he's been in there for about 30 seconds. Okay, great. Drop the plane, accelerate. Because you need that sudden thrust of the engine to actually get
Which
the
is
urine.
exactly what was going
That's what
on.
happened.
You weren't there. Oh, actually, you were there.
Well, all we know is you were soaked in urine from your head to your toe, so it got on you somehow. We assume it was your urine. You weren't in the bathroom with him.
Like, the story might have been that he peed on himself a little bit. It might have been, we knew he was in the bathroom. We do know he was in the
And then
bathroom.
I came out soaking wet.
Yes. So, you be the judge.
All right. Yes, it's all true.
There you
It's
go.
all true. I also once on a plane farted so disgustingly that it made someone pass out. we had to wait when the plane landed for medics to take him off the plane.
Twice.
So that's also true.
Twice, right?
He's not kidding.
Misha, twice, right?
Yeah, he fainted twice. The first time I was like, I was in the window. I didn't want to get up. It was a very full flight. And I thought if I just let a little bit go at a time, you know. But I guess whatever, because of the pressure differential or whatever, it was one of those situations where I didn't have full control over the valve. And it came out more forcefully than I had intended. And the guy who was sitting behind me fainted. And the flight attendants came with an oxygen tank, and they revived him, and his wife said, "I think somebody has some gas." And they said, "Man, that's not possible. All of the fuel is stored in the wings of the plane. None of it is in the fuselage." I know fuselage sounds like fuel, but it's not. There's none stored here, so none of it can leak in here. And she let it go, and they went about their business. And then I fell asleep, and then I woke up because I was feeling some intestinal pressure. And again, perhaps foolishly, I thought I could get away with it. And he fainted again. And they administered oxygen again. And his girlfriend said, "Somebody really has some gas." And again, they reiterated that there was no fuel stored in the fuselage. And then the woman sitting up on the other side of him, she was like brave enough to say what was on everybody's mind, which was, "Nuh-uh, somebody has to go to the bathroom." And then we had to, as if that wasn't embarrassing enough, we all had to wait on the plane for him to be taken off. And the whole time he was like, "This has never happened to me before. I'm perfectly healthy." But in his defense, it was pretty awful. Even me, I had to admit it was pretty bad.
Best story ever.
But we digress. Thank you guys. So, hey, by the way,